Here we are with our secret ingredients to hopefully the super cutest pom-pom earrings ever. So here I am at the Dollar Tree this morning and I was like, okay, let me come here and see if they have yarn. And of course I got caught up in bewilderment and mass of wonderment. Are those even words? More like wonderment of all. Look at those matte beads. Are they not the cutest? I love those metallic beads, the star-shaped pony beads. I didn't buy them, but I'm desperately thinking about going back to get them. My brother gave me a gift card for $25 just for helping him with some eBay listings that he needed. And so I'm using that money to purchase these supplies of items that I obviously don't need, but I did want these pearls to go with the project. And I was just so amazed at all the stuff that continues to be added to the Crafter's Square aisle. I'm thinking about trying that liquid adhesive. Have you all tried that yet from Crafter's Square? And I've never made anything with those little things. I don't even know what you call them, but I was impressed by all of the tools, the supplies. You could create really a very successful and lucrative jewelry business or craft business with items from the Dollar Tree. I mean, seriously, they have so many incredible top-notch quality products. And so look at all the tools and instruments, the spray bottles, the craft mats. Now we did do a tutorial and a feedback on the paint. That's not the word I'm looking for. I got caught up with these glue sticks. I'm like, has anybody used the glitter glue sticks? I wanted to buy them and I was like, should I, shouldn't I? But I was saying that we did an opinion, that's not the word I'm looking for, about the Dollar Tree paints where I showed you what they all came out looking like. So I ended up not buying those, but I certainly thought about it. I didn't get any more stickers. I was just showing you all the stickers and ribbon that there are to choose from here at the Dollar Tree, but I need another sticker. Like I need a hole in the head, and I don't need a hole in the head. So of course I skipped past all the floral stuff because I'm not in spring mode to be making things like that. But here's the yarn, and their yarn was a really great quality. I thought they had beautiful fall and winter colors to choose from. I thought that it was really pretty. That was sand. I don't do sand projects, but for anybody that's thinking about it, they have tons of sand to choose from. I was trying to say I was doing a paint review. I couldn't think of my word back there. So here I am, and I got caught up. Look at these cute things. So if you're looking for any type of decor items for your home, these look really sleek. The little dinosaurs are absolutely precious if you're thinking about doing a baby room. Of course, you already know they have beautiful glassware. Now look at these. I didn't buy them, but these river rocks were like a chocolate charcoal dark brown color, and they would make really beautiful center stones for necklaces. I think they'd be too heavy for earrings, so that was why I was kind of debating should I get them or not. They were just heavy, but very beautiful. If people do wire wrapping, they probably could use those and would be satisfied with it. I got caught up on these cute little trinket dishes. Look at that one. There's one with a dinosaur. You could put your rings. These would make great gifts. There's a unicorn. There's a little meow kitten. So cute. So here are the items I ended up getting. I got the mustard colored yarn, the cream color, the buttercream, the chocolate, and the navy blue. I also got that little item, and I got one pack of the pearls instead of two because I was like, you know, what if I don't even like the project and then I have 2 packs of pearls I'm probably not going to use, because I'm not always a fan of pearl items. Now here I am looking at the front of the store because around this section sometimes they have really great jewelry making items, but you just have to pick through it. Sometimes this is where they have the best stickers. Look at these. I thought about not this for the project, but for the little matte pieces, the little squares in there, that you could really make something cute out of that. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Okay, I obviously haven't been a cheerleader in a long time, and I could use some practice. Hey, you guys, so happy Friday. Guess what we're getting ready to make? You'll never be able to guess, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. We're gonna make the super cutest pom-pom earrings. Never made them before, so guess what? We're gonna make them together. Hence, that's what we got the yarn for that I was showing you in the intro. And just in case they don't come out cute and we don't like them, love them, gotta have it, then we only spend $1 for the yarn. And it is soft yarn. I realized that it says something different on each one, so this is chunky yarn. And I didn't notice that when I was at the store, and the rest of them say worsted. So I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that means, but obviously the chunky yarn looks like it's a bit thicker in terms of the band. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference or not, and we're gonna use these super cute pearls. Let's get started making some pom-poms. And can I just say, at 52, I remember my grandma wearing these little footy socks that had pom-poms off the back. I thought they were the cutest things known to man. So I'm gonna make my own first pom-poms at 52. Yay! So let's go ahead and get started. So you are gonna need a pair of scissors, and I meant to sharpen these. I saw on someone's video online where you could sharpen your shears or your scissors cutting into aluminum foil. So I'm gonna do that right quick and see if that makes a difference, because these are just a little dull. But it did mention not to do that with sewing scissors. So you're just gonna need some yarn. Again, I got these really beautiful colors from the Dollar Tree, as you saw in the beginning of the video. And I believe the first color we're gonna make is maybe the yellow and the mustard. I don't know, that just seems to be speaking to me. So we're gonna start with those two, but I don't know, the blue is really cute too, but hey, we're gonna get to make all of them. So let's start here because that's just what's calling me. I have no clue how we're gonna attach these pearls. I have an idea and a vision of how I see them attaching, but let's get the pom-poms made first and get the general gist of that, and then we can figure out how we're gonna potentially attach some earring findings. So that's all you're gonna need to get started. And of course, you're gonna need your earring findings. I don't have those here on the table, but you know you're gonna need some jump rings, some eye pins, and some ear hooks. So, of course, because you're making earrings, right? So I know that there's multiple ways you can do this. I know that you can take your yarn and you can wrap it around like pieces of cardboard. You can cut out pieces of paper towel roll, or use old paper towel rolls, old toilet paper rolls to use as a base, which might be easier. I was thinking about just wrapping it around my hands, but the only thing in doing that is I'm not sure that it's gonna come out even. So I haven't worked with yarn in forever, but from what I know, there's normally like a little end piece you can pull out, but hey, it ain't looking like the little end tail. There we go. So the little tail is normally in the bottom somewhere. So let me just not untangle, but just pull this out. So then we can get going from there. Let's see where that's pulling from. So I'm gonna do these two colors together, but let me decide relatively quickly. And I wanna leave my paper on, so I don't wanna tear that off. So let me see. Only because I don't want it to get all over the place at some point. The yarn, you know, because I'm not always neat with my supplies like I should be. So let me go finish fighting with this like I'm a cat or a kitten, right? I don't know what I got going on. And then there we are. I was just trying to see where the other end to it was. And because I'm right-handed, I'm gonna put my yarn over to the right. But notice that the white is chunky, right? And the yellow is worsted. I did not look up the definition of that, but when I go to get whatever we're gonna use as our guide, I'll come back and I'll let you know. Stand by. Always changing. So you already know right now I'm wearing a natural style. Before that it was braids. But look, in this picture I had hair extensions. The guy said when he looked at my picture, he said, whoa, you look like Kamala Harris on the picture. In other words, to say you don't look like her in person. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. But I was like, yeah, I don't look like her, but okay, thank you, because you could not think of anything else to say, right? So anyway, I'm gonna use my business card because why not? Oh, and then on the back, my husband and I, we filmed a pilot with the DIY Network in 2017, and it aired on DIY, I think twice, and then HGTV sold the network to, I think, Discovery Channel, Discovery Network, and they scratched all of the pilots, so we didn't get a TV show. But that's my honey bunny. That's the house that we flipped on DIY, and it was a fun experience. I honestly have to say I'm not sad about it, but I had a great time, and the network was super, super sweet. So let's get started, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay the yarn across here side by side. We can decide how thick we want it to be based on the size card we're using. So these pom-poms are gonna be kind of small. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna cover it up. We're just gonna start wrapping, right? No rhyme or reason, but I wanna make sure that as we're wrapping, hold on, we gotta start over. I didn't have my white string pulled all the way out. Hey, why are you acting up? I might have to take, okay y'all, forget it. My OCD was like, I want to leave the paper on, but that yarn is like, no ma'am. No ma'am, take the paper off. Okay, so let's get started. So let's start over, I meant. So we're gonna go over here and we're just gonna get started wrapping on the card. Now, mind you, I probably made some of these maybe back in the day in elementary school or kindergarten, but up until that point, I have not made these. And so you want to have it pretty tight in terms of close together, in other words, close together, so not having any spacing that you can see between the yarn. But when you go to tie it together, like, I don't feel like I need to make it so tight on the card that the card starts to bend, you know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna keep wrapping, and the more yarn you use, the thicker of a pom-pom you're gonna have and the puffier you're gonna have. So I'm gonna use my card as a gauge. So I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm probably gonna go over the 7 in my phone number, like when we go back that way, and then I'll let that be the stopping point for my pom-pom. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So like I have 2 7s right there on my card and the last 4 digits of my phone number. And don't worry, I know you're probably like, why are you showing your phone number? My phone number is all across the internet. I sell houses, right? So that's the thickness of what we're gonna have. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it off, and we're gonna leave a tail, right? Because we're gonna need the tail at the end in order to work with. So now we're just gonna lay this down. Mind you, this is blind instruction. I've never done this before, but y'all have grace. So we're gonna cut 2 strings from our yarn. Come on, Bessie, get to working. Talking to this little fluffy ball of yarn. So we're just gonna cut a section off about this long. I didn't mean to say we were gonna leave a tail then. This is gonna be the tail. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to figure out a way to pull this through to the other side, right? Well, I guess we could just pull it off. I guess we can pull it off. But I wanna try to bring my little tail through here. So let's take these and we're just gonna fish them through. Now what we could do is the old grandma style back in the way. Y'all know how grandma or your mama would attach something to a safety pin and pull it through to the other side, like whenever your string would come out your jacket or something like that. So we pulled it through the other side. And now what we wanna do is we wanna take it and we wanna tie it, but let's go ahead first and we're gonna gently pull the first yarn for our first pom-pom off the edge over here. Oh Lord Jesus, take the wheel and drive fast. I'm gonna tie it before I pull this thing off, because we can always tighten it, but I don't want it to completely become undone. So let's pull her off. Oh look, she decided to cooperate. So look, it's a baby pom-pom. Yeah, I don't know why I'm cutting up, I'm hungry. So let's tie her. Did we tie her right? So let's give her a good old tie. Y'all, if this doesn't come out right, y'all remember the other day when we were doing the beads? I don't think I did that right. I think I was supposed to flip it over. Wait, what? I think I was supposed to flip it over and do something else. Okay, so let's start over. Scratch that. Starting over. Thank God this was Dollar Tree yarn. All right, starting over, y'all. But listen, I said I had made these before, so don't be on here with the thumbs down and snarky comments. Well, I guess you can. I'm not the boss of you. So I'm just gonna put that there. And we're gonna start back wrapping again. We're gonna do the same thickness. Oh, I realized now I did have it right. I was thinking it was wrong only because when I tied the string, but I think I could have done that differently. So that's what we're gonna do this time. So we got our yarn, right, the way that we want it. We're gonna wrap it back around to the thickness that we had. I'm gonna tuck that little piece under there. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna tuck those underneath. You can do it however you wanna do it or however you've done it in the past, because you probably know, y'all are probably experts, but I'm doing this for the first time. And I just kept seeing pom-poms. I was like, they are so stinking cute. I want a pair. I'm not gonna buy a pair when we make jewelry, right? Who's doing that? So I was like, we can make our own little pom-poms. So let's go back through and tie it again. I think this is where I had kind of gotten off. What made me think that I had done it wrong was because I was thinking we need to tie around that whole thing, but I think that is right. So I'm gonna pull it off. I'm gonna sit it down. Okay, this isn't working. Obviously, it's a work in progress. I decided to do a test puff, so even though I'm nervous about cutting this, let's just do a test puff and see what happens. Because I'm just curious, right? So I know that we're supposed to cut all the loops, and this is not a gag tutorial. I'm seriously trying to figure this out. So this is what we have so far. That is certainly not the pom-pom of old that I'm thinking is cute, but it's not horrible. I'm just gonna cut some stuff off and see what we end up having. Let's do that together, and then I'll go back and show you how I did this one, and we'll just keep testing out the pom-pom theory, because that's what I want to do. I think I need some sharper scissors. Something therapeutic about cutting pom-pom here. Maybe it reminds me of my... Okay, so I do know that we need more yarn, right? So I do know that for sure. I think we need more yarn. I wonder if also if we would have tied it across one more time too, if that would have made a difference. I don't know, let's see. Or if I cut it shorter, will it make a difference? If not, I think we need more yarn. And I feel like the more yarn we have, the better. So let's keep cutting. This is just our little test puff to see. I did this wrapping it around my fingers, but I think we're gonna need to do it wrapping it around the card, and we're gonna need to do it tighter in order to get the pom-pom that we want. So that's not completely horrible, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't use that to make an earring with, but that's not gonna cut it. This is like a hair weave that didn't look like it had enough hair to finish the job. So let's cut that off. We're gonna start over, but I am gonna keep these little strings, right? There's no reason to be wasteful of that. I'm gonna go throw this away. We'll be right back. Okay, so I decided to do it lengthwise of the card instead of the other way, because I figured with this way, lengthwise, I would be able to get the string tied around the center that we need. So I had to go back and troubleshoot what I was doing wrong. So, and I didn't have enough yarn. So I'm gonna use more yarn than what we thought we needed. Y'all, I'm tickling myself about this thing. I'm like, Lord. And I could have cut out the snafus. However, why? Right? I'm 52, I know how to laugh at myself. And I'm actually quite so tickled by it. But you know you can skip forward, so don't get frustrated with my non-editing of cutting out the bad stuff, right? Because it's the truth that's what happened. So I'm just gonna keep wrapping around, and I believe that the key to a successful pom-pom based on what I saw was a significant amount of yarn. So the more fluffy you want the pom-pom, the more yarn you need. So I honestly would probably not be able to figure out if I'm recreating or have enough yarn on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop where we are, and I could slide that off, but what I realized I did wrong before was I tried to tie underneath, which meant I was only tying on one side, and you have to tie around the entire pom-pom. Does that make sense? So now what I'm gonna have to do without jamming this up and hoping that it stays together, and the reason why I used a larger card was because if I use a larger card and I go to take it off, I have a better chance in my mind of it staying together. So I'm just gonna tuck those longer strands under there, and as best I can without losing the integrity of the shape, I'm gonna leave that be. And yes, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but this is the way I'm gonna do it because it's my first pom-pom. and I have control issues. So we're gonna squeeze it really tight without breaking our yarn, and I'm gonna turn it over. We're gonna tie it one more time on this side. This is gonna give us the tail to work from. So we're gonna tie it super tight. We're gonna put a knot there. And I would think too that you wanna have clean hands since we're working with white yarn. So this is the way it's supposed to be. And now what we're gonna do is when we start cutting the loops, it should be pom-pom like. I'm hoping that's what happens. So let's start cutting the loops and see what happens. I'm really excited about it, but you know what? I'm also glad that I only spent $1 for the yarn, because the other night I was gonna do a video and we were at Walmart, and I don't even remember what I went there for. I went there looking for yarn, and the yarn was like $4.50, $5, $6. The yarn was high. I was like, and even though I can't even say it was a good quality because I don't know about yarn, but it looked like this same yarn right here, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna give Walmart $6 for some yarn. Even though I used my gift card to buy this, my brother sent me a gift card for helping him with some eBay listings at Thanksgiving time. So I'm using that. You guys, I have a pom-pom. I'm gonna cry. Okay, so now, mind you, I need to get it trimmed up, but honey, tell me mama don't have a pom-pom. That's a pom-pom, boo. Okay, so, just kidding. So let's get her cleaned up. So I'm gonna give her a good old haircut. Go back to my licensed cosmetology days. Y'all, I think I told y'all that before, but I owned salons for about 8 years. I did hair for 14 years. I ran spas for another 4 years after that until I had Miriam, and then praise God, hallelujah, I came from behind that chair. And the Lord led me into real estate. Hence, here we are today. And that's how we ended up here. You guys, I love it. That is a super cute pom-pom. Now, I'm still gonna trim it up some more. So what I'm gonna do is, I think the young lady who I saw when she made them, she pulled these strings back around. And then, well, I didn't do that. I'm not gonna try to do it. I don't wanna jam it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep snipping and trimming until we have a symmetrical pom-pom, because the shorter, the puffier. And I noticed that we have these longer sides, so all that. So we're just gonna keep snipping that off. Now the prayer is gonna be, can I get a matching pom-pom? Can I get a matching pom-pom? In my college, we used to say, attitude check. I went to Fayetteville State here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I have a degree in business, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna trim around here. And I think my scissors could definitely be a lot sharper. This is like cutting some hedges. Not that I've ever done that, honey, because I do not do yard work. I'm scared of worms. I'm scared of bugs and all that jazz. So we're not doing that. We're not going outside. I'll go outside, but I'm not going to be digging in dirt. We had to lay sod as part of our renovation. Oh, I got carried away. Part of our renovation company, my husband and I laid sod this past summer. You might have seen those videos. If not, look on the real estate playlist. And my son told me that when they went to drop the sod down, that it had these chunky grubs in it. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'd have left the sod. I'd have left the house. I'd have left all the equipment. The devil is a lie. I'm not doing worms. Worms led me to salvation. That's a story for another day. I'm sure I'll tell it one day. Probably in another video. Ooh, you guys, I'm excited about my little pom-pom. Now, mind you, I think this is way too big to make an earring. Let's see. Okay, you guys, so look, I think it's so cute. Miriam said I could wear it, but she wouldn't wear it. Look how adorable. Now, I don't know if that's too big to be a pom-pom earring or not, or a pom-pom necklace. I don't know. We got to figure it out. We're going to have to make a little mate to go with it, but I think it came out cute. I'm gonna trim it up just a little bit more, but after the first 2, or was it 3 failed attempts, I think she came out pretty cute. Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna keep snipping just a little bit. You all can skip forward. I'm gonna make a mate to go with it. And then we're gonna see how we can turn this beautiful little pom-pom into a pair of earrings. And can I just say I am super grateful that I only spent $1 on the yarn, only because I would hate to be jamming up a $6 roll of yarn. Skein of yarn, what's the actual technical term? I know one of y'all knows. Ball of yarn. So, of course, the more you trim it up and shape it up, the fluffier it gets. And the more it becomes pom-pom-licious. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it to see where it needs to be touched up. And I do have the idea for the earring that I want to make. Again, these are probably going to be kind of big, so I'm not sure that it'll be everybody's cup of tea, but this is a statement jewelry channel. Right, so I do tend to make things that are larger and different. And I'm not trying to make perfection either, because again, I've never done this before. But I'm not disappointed with how this one came out. I think that I could make it even fluffier if I just keep trimming it up. So I'm gonna go trim it up a little bit more, and then I'll be right back. Tail off to see what would happen. And how about, there's your pom-pom. Yes, I know it's big, and we're gonna keep trimming it up a little bit, but now I gotta make a buddy to go with it. I do have an idea of the earrings that I'm gonna make. They are gonna be gargantuan, but guess what? I like them. I just see a super cute, cozy cable knit sweater being worn with them. So I'm gonna make a matching ball, and then after we make the matching ball, we're gonna come back and then we're gonna add the jewelry findings. I haven't seen that done before, and so I'm gonna figure out how we can make sure it stays secure when we add like the eye pin and stuff like that. So we're just gonna work out the logistics of it. But I'm super excited for my first pom-pom, even though it's large. Be right back. So let's make the next one together, and thank y'all for bearing with me as we do this project together. I know it can be frustrating watching somebody do something they haven't done before, which is why I was clear that, hey, I ain't never done this before, but I'm excited about how that sweet little one came out, and my juices are flowing as to how we're gonna finish her off and what she would be cute with in terms of an outfit or a shirt. And to be honest, I've never seen people use larger puff balls in jewelry. I always see the regular little not tennis ball, but tennis socks kind of size balls, like the ones I was talking about when my grandma used to have those type socks. So I'm excited to make these. What are y'all doing this weekend, you guys? I'm going Christmas shopping. I know I've been saying that for the last few videos. We have done a few things online. Not a lot though, and I have no clue. My husband keeps asking me what I want. I'm like, a beach house? And if that ain't in the works, which is not yet, but praise God, I'm believing him that it will be one day in this lifetime, and I'll be able to enjoy it, and I'll be super cute in it. But I think I told y'all I wanted a right hand ring, so I don't want to be wasteful buying something I don't need though. So I don't know what I want. I know I want a black sweatsuit from Walmart, so I have to go take a picture of that and send it to my mom, because she was like, what does a black sweatsuit look like? I'm like, Mommy. Yeah, my mom is so funny. I'm like, Mommy, it's just a jersey knit, like the little cheap, inexpensive black sweatsuits. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like the kind Walmart sells, the No Boundary brand or whatever it is. Yeah, I just want that. I saw where somebody had it on, and it was so cute and cutely styled with like some heels. Yeah, I was showing the house yesterday. How about my favorite heels got stuck in the mud? I didn't realize the backyard was muddy, and me trying to be so professional, go trail into the backyard, jam my shoes up. I thought I was stuck in quicksand for a minute. Nobody came to my rescue. Oh my gosh, we can't make this stuff up. So let me tuck that piece under. We're gonna tuck this under back here. And then we're gonna, get out of the way. We're gonna slide this off as gently as we can. You might hear my children up there playing. I don't know if they're watching videos or playing together. They're so sweet. They're 14 and 18, so sit there, baby. Calm down. We're getting ready to tie you up. So we're gonna take the yarn under this one. We're gonna tie them together. Yay. Aw. Time together again. We're gonna do another knot. Now the one person I watched make these, they double knotted theirs. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna tie another knot. Just wanna make sure, you know, that it doesn't come loose. I'm gonna tie it again. Now mind you, in this one, my tail's a little short. The tail I had left is a little short, so let's start cutting. So we're gonna trim, and you're just cutting the loops. If you had a sharp pair of scissors, boy, you'd be cooking with gas. But these are semi-sharp, but not as sharp as they could be. I was hoping my honey bunny would get off early today, because Friday is, you know what, date night. I get on his last nerves at date night. So, because I never know what we're gonna eat, I rambled through Netflix for half an hour looking for what we're gonna watch. He's like, can we pick something already? Okay, so let's turn this. We got that cut, and now what we're gonna do is we wanna get everything facing downward. Hold on to the little tail. This is the messiest part too, is the cutting and the trimming. So we're putting the choke hold on it, and now we're gonna trim. And so our goal now is to match up to the other little pom-pom. Look how sweet, oh my gosh, these things are so cute. So now let's find the middle over here, and what we wanna do is we wanna fold it down. And I am gonna end up cutting off the tails. I'm squeezing everything I can out, like as if you were making sushi. Y'all made sushi? I made sushi, I think 4 times. Only once did it really come out good, but not like the restaurant. Cause I just think they have secret ingredients at the sushi restaurant. Like their sushi is always bomb. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So let me see. Pretty. Hopefully I didn't cut too much, cause you know, there's no way to measure. And what I did too is I made sure I washed my hands. So let's cut this, let's start trimming this one up some more. I'm gonna hold it up. I'm just gonna use these as a tail for now, just to start trimming like any that are longer and matching it up to the other ones. So I'm gonna go do this and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so now what I did note, and we're gonna call this video blooper puffs, right? So what I did notice is that this one's a little bit smaller than this one, but I wanna see it through to finish the tutorial, but I could snip some more of this off and we can do that afterwards. So you're gonna need 2 head pins. You're gonna need your beads, we talked about that. So I'm gonna open up the pearls. And what I realized, if we could use the eye pins and you could do dangles, but it's not gonna make sense to have something dangling from these because they're just gonna get lost in the sauce, right? Because they're so big. So you're also gonna need 2 fish hook earrings, ear wires. You're gonna need some jump rings, and then you're gonna need your tools. I gotta go hunt down my pliers. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I decided to do is I'm just gonna take my head pin and I'm just gonna push it through what feels like the center of the pom-pom. Now I'm just gonna keep going through to see, is it, oh, you know what, this might be why I need to use a an eye pin, because at least it'll probably stay in there. So let's try an eye pin. If not, we'll have to come up with a different way to get these to stay in there. So stand by, let me grab a gold eye pin. So that worked better because I was able to just stick the eye pin through the center and it stayed, versus if I use the head pin, it's not gonna wanna stay in there. So I have the eye pin. Let me grab one more. And we're just gonna take it, and I'm feeling for the center of the pom-pom where I tied the knots. And you'll be able to feel it as you're pushing through there. And then I'm just pulling to see, is this gonna come out the other end or come all the way through? And it didn't. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our round nose pliers Now we could cut these off a little bit. Now what you could do is you could still add some stuff to hang from right in here, but it's gonna get lost because it's just too close to that, right? So what I wanna do is create a dangle or a way for this to hang, and we're gonna use our little pearl bead as an accent. So let's go ahead and snip this off, and not too much, right? Because we wanna have movement. It's already gonna be really long. This is just how I'm envisioning the design. So even though this is a blooper video, I'm gonna have to make some pom-poms way better than what we currently have. I think they're super cute. I'm definitely not gonna sell them. I'll keep them for myself, but I just wanna finish the project out. Because guess what? Mama ain't no quitter, okay? So, super cute. Now what I'm gonna do is add another eye pin, because we want to add our pearl detail accent. And I don't know where all these head pins came from all of a sudden that I have. Normally I have like a plethora of eye pins hanging out, but they said not today, sister. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to make one. So let's leave that closed up. And what I'm gonna do, so let's just say you happen to run out of eye pins, I'm just gonna cut the nail head off of there. And I've already shown you how to make eye pins before, but you're just gonna take your head pin that you cut the head off of, you push towards yourself, back away from yourself, and now you have an eye pin. See? You have your little closure. Let's go get our jump ring. You open it up. Remember, you pull it away from yourself to open it up. And sometimes when you're designing, guess what? Things just don't come out like you expect them to when you're doing it for the first time. But I think these are so cute. I think they're adorable. For my first pair. Not cute enough to sell per se. These are my slippery pliers, so got that together. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our pearls. We're just gonna slide it on there. Maybe we'll do two. Let's see. I don't want these to be too heavy. I think that's too heavy. So we're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna cut off some of the excess. We're gonna close our jump ring up. I mean our eye pin. Close that up. Fold it back that way. And now we're gonna add another jump ring. And the reason being is because remember we wanted to have swing, we wanted to have movement. And there you go. Also, it's not gonna matter which way you put the fish hook on. You know, sometimes they wanna give you a fit. Oh my gosh, look how stinking cute is that. It might've been annoying as all get out to try to match them up and get them where they needed to be. Right, but I think they came out so cute. So let's snip that off and then let's close that out. So we're just making an eye pin right there. And then we're gonna get another gold jump ring. Gonna add that to the eye pin. I feel that poking a little, so I'm gonna slide that over just a little. And I'm gonna try these on so you can see them. So of course I ran out of eye pins, so we're gonna cut up another. Oh, look, well, you know it. So there we go, I found another eye pin. I knew I had some. I'm like, where are my eye pins? Y'all have more stuff than I would ever need. I probably have it down there in the boxes. Open this up. So, got that closed up. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a pearl. And y'all, these pearls, they're actually plastic beads, but they look so pretty, like in person. You can't tell that they're plastic at all. Let me make sure I'm putting this on here to match this one. I think I need to cut the, I think I need to make the first eye pin a little bit shorter. I feel like it's sticking up too much from the yarn. Even though I'm gonna fluff it up a little bit, let's cut some of that off. So now that we cut it off, just gonna bend it back around, put it back, close it up. Ooh, y'all, if y'all have allergies, my nose is itching. Make sure to wear a mask when working with yarn. I don't have allergies, but I could tell it's itching my nose a little bit because we have all those little fine hairs. So make sure to use a mask if you get the sneezies and stuff from fabrics and materials and stuff like that. So we're gonna fluff those out after we get them on here. So let's put our bead on. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut that off because remember we wanna turn this into an eye pin on this end. I need to cut a smidge more. We're gonna need one more gold jump ring. Close it up. Let's grab a jump ring. These are so cute. You guys, uh-oh, come back. Got lost in the hair. This is like doing a project with my own hair. You guys, look how cute that is. So let me shake that out right quick. Shake her out. Even after all the snafus, I just think they are so adorable. Now, mind you, they don't match. They are not going to my Etsy store, but I'm gonna try these on right quick so you can see them. And then we're gonna try to make another pair. Okay, so it is a blooper pair. It is my first pair. They did not come out symmetrical, but I think they came out super cute. So all I have to do is figure out how to get the balance between the two because this one is way more fluffier than this one. This one's not as, I think I use less yarn on this one. So I think that the key is gonna be to use toilet paper rolls or something where I can create the same amount of yarn so that they come out the same. I think they are super cute. Now if I wear them out in public, no one's gonna be like, hey, one of your puff balls or pom-poms is larger than the other one. But let me know what you think. I know that it was a blooper video and it was totally probably nerve-wracking to watch, but nevertheless, I don't care. I think I do care what you think, but I'm saying I don't care that it was a blooper because they came out super duper cute. We're gonna make another pair. Not on this video, but we are gonna make another pair. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this pom-pom blooper and stay tuned for more videos.